Hey, I'm Lindsay Ell, and today we're hanging out with Gretsch Guitars. I grew up with a very musical family. My mom played piano, my dad played guitar, all my grandparents played something, and so my brother and I started playing piano when we were 6 years old. And then when I turned 8, I thought it was a lot cooler to play Shania Twain songs on the guitar than classical on the piano. So I picked this thing up and it became like another limb off my body pretty much ever since. I used to go to bluegrass camps with my dad when I was a tiny little blonde girl following him and all of his friends around with this huge guitar. And we would play bluegrass tunes till 3 in the morning, you know, just playing fiddle tune after fiddle tune after fiddle tune. And that's really how I learned how to play, is flat picking and fingerstyle guitar, playing Tommy Manuel and, you know, all of these fingerstyle pieces that just, it spiked my curiosity as an artist and as a musician. And I just wanted to learn more. When I was about 13, I met a guy by the name of Randy Bachman, and it was through a songwriting buddy of mine who was like, you know, Randy, I think you should check out this girl. She plays guitar, she writes songs, and so he gave Randy this demo CD that I made when I was 10 years old. It had like cover songs and me playing Tommy Manuel instrumentals, and Randy listened to it and he's like, this sounds like a young female Chet Atkins. I need to meet this girl. And so shortly after that, we got together for a couple writing sessions, and he was like, Lindsay, I'm your biggest fan. I want to help you however I can. So I remember, you know, in between school, like in the summer, we would go out to Salt Spring Island and I would record with Randy, and my parents would come with me, and we'd, you know, stay on his guest house on his property. And he had, you know, his house where him and his wife lived. He had the guest house, he had the studio, and then he also had his guitar house. And I was like, the guitar house, I hope I can go into the guitar house one day. And the guitar house, eventually he did bring us in there, and it was where a lot of his Gretsch collection lived. And it was the first time I really understood, one, how many guitars Mr. Randy Bachman owned, and how organized he kept everything, and just what a passion he has for guitar players and guitars themselves. You know, I'd always known of Gretsch guitars, but it wasn't until I met Randy that I really embraced all of the beauty and essence of what they are. The Red Betty would probably be my favorite Gretsch. I've just played so many amazing shows with this and just have so many incredible memories. It's a center block, it has a Bigsby. I've not made a single change. I love this thing, it's so gorgeous. And you know, the shock value when you put this on stage and people are like, your guitar is amazing. Never hurts. But yeah, the Red Betty and I get along quite nicely. The cool thing about the Red Betty is you just have so much versatility, You know, you can get that single coil almost tone when you're really trying to dig into a solo, or you can get like a really fat, you know, thing. So it's extremely versatile and fits into a lot of different songs because of that. I think every guitar has its own essence and its own songs inside of it that as artists and songwriters, we need to figure out a way to pull them out. And Randy, being a prime example of that, owns 200 plus Gretsch guitars because they each pull different things out of you as a player, as a songwriter, as a musician. I know specifically when I'm writing songs, I always think about what guitar I'm gonna bring to a write, or you know, what couple guitars do I want to play on stage tonight, because it can change the tone 180 degrees. play for hours and hours at a time. And it's crazy because we're on the road so much that, you know, I never travel without a guitar. But when I'm home, I mean, I can honestly have my amp going most of the day, and time just sort of slips away from me when I'm in guitar world, as I call it. And my phone starts like getting text message after text message, and I need to respond to people, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I was in guitar world. And yeah, it just brings me into a different place. I think as a guitar player, you are always learning. You know, I think that's the beauty of learning an instrument, is it never really stops. You know, when you look at artists like B.B. King, who took a guitar lesson every day until he left us, or, you know, Celine Dion can take a voice lesson every single day. I mean, I surely have a lot more to learn with this thing. You know, I remember in those early stages when I first started playing, and your fingers are so painful, but I had such a curiosity about what I could do with the guitar that it just always sort of pushed me past that point. And now with my playing, I mean, it's just, you want to get deeper and deeper, and listening to other players, you just hear different things of what they're doing, or how they're connecting different scales, or whether they're following chord progressions, or, okay, well, he used this here, and then in that part of the song, he used that, and the way you approach a note, and how clean you play. These are all things that I obsess about. And practicing with a metronome, and, you know, like little things that make the biggest difference. But I'm really excited right now because we're in the studio and I'm recording new music, and music that I feel is the most honest that I've ever written. And I think I'm really figuring out what I want to say and how I want to say it, and, you know, the kind of amps I want to put on my record, and guitars I want to play. And it's a big thing as an artist to figure out that voice. And so I feel like the past few years I have figured that out, and I'm so excited about this new music. I cannot wait for fans to hear it, and it will be ready soon.